Welcome back to the next video. This is Bonding Basics Part 1. There's a couple parts here. A lot of this is review from the previous year. So we'll just go ahead and get started. So use this periodic table. Chlorine. Look at element Cl right there. Atomic number is the number on top, which is 17. So your atomic symbol is Cl. Total number electron is 17, the same as atomic number. Number of valence electrons. Number of valence electrons, that's A here, 6A. We've done this multiple times in the past. The last group is 18, except for helium is only 2. Everybody else is 8. Okay, so it's got 7 valence electrons. So the goal, electrons needed to gain or lose. So the goal here for gain or lose, is it, the question you ask, is it closer to 8 or closer to 0? Alright, we say to 8 because 8 is the goal for valence electron. That's a full shell. When they're 8 valence electron, they will be stable. If they fall back to 0, what happens is that there's a full shell underneath, so they act like they have a full shell because there's a full shell underneath that 0. So it's 7 already. It's easier to go to 8, right? So in order to go to 8, we can gain 1. Gain 1 electron. Okay, write it. Gain 1 electron. So we gain 1 electron. The charge, the oxidation number is the charge. The charge when you gain 1 electron is going to be -1. Alright. And the symbol for chlorine, you'll often see chlorine, the ion for chlorine is chlorine like that, -1. Chlorine, Cl negative. Okay, with that, we'll add that onto the last part. Potassium is over here in row 4, K. Yeah, potassium is right in row 4. Atomic number 19. So K, atomic number 19, so 19 electrons. It has 1 valence electron. Okay. So closer to 0 or closer to 8? It's closer to 0. So we're going to go to 0. How do we go to 0? We lose 1 electron. If we lose 1 electron, now we have more protons and electron. So then we have 1. We lose 1, and it's positive 1. Symbols K as +1. When it's a 1, you don't need to put the number. Okay. Go down here. Let's do another one, more challenging one down here. Nitrogen. Look at nitrogen. All right. Nitrogen is atomic number 7. Atomic number 7 in group 15. 5 valence electrons. So nitrogen, 5 valence electron. Total number of electrons is 7. This total number of electrons is really irrelevant to what this assignment is doing, or what we need to do on this assignment. Okay. So atomic symbol. Number of electrons needed. So 5 is closer to 8, right? Because you have to take away 5 or add 3, which one's easier. So we're going to add 3 more. Gain 3 electrons. So if it gains 3 electrons, it's going to be a charge of 3 negative, right? It's typically written properly. The proper way to write it is the number first and then the charge after. Okay, so nitrogen is going to look like this. Nitrogen, the symbol, and then 3 negative for it to have a full shell. Okay. Carbon's a little weird here. It's got 4, so it can gain or lose 4. So, but carbon is not. Carbon's special, so we're not going to worry about that one, okay? Carbon, total number of electrons. That's that. All right. So I've done 2 already. 1 negative, positive. Do another positive one. Let's look at magnesium, okay? Magnesium is Mg, atomic number 12. Uh-oh. Let it focus. Atomic number 12 right here. Column 2, so it's 2 valence electrons. Atomic number 12, column 2. So it's easier to lose those 2 to go to 0, so then we lose 2 electrons. And so the charge is 2 plus. And so the symbol would be Mg 2 plus. Okay? That's that. You can pause the video and go on and do the rest of this table before I go on to the bottom. The bottom I'll fill out some notes. But pause the video, finish the table first. And in the bottom here, an atom that gains or loses an electron, that gains 1 or more electrons will have a negative charge because it gains. Remember, gain equals negative charge, and lose equals positive charge, because we're losing electrons. All right. So an atom that loses 1 or more electrons will be a positive charge, An atom that gains or loses one or more electrons is called an ion. Recall, this is just review. A positive ion is called a, oh, we've seen this word, cation. Cation is positive, like paw, cats have paws, so it's positive. This is not the correct way to spell it, but it's just for emphasis here, or just to help you remember, a cat will have paws. How do you draw paws? Like that, something like that. There you go, here's a body, here's a foot. There you go, cat has paws, see? Here. And then negative ion is called an anion. Okay, so after make sure that table is on top of this, that is done. We go on to this next page here. This next page is ionic bonds. So ionic bond, remember we already reviewed that. Atom will transfer. The key word here is transfer, very important. So key word here is transfer. That means one will give and one will take, right? One or more electrons, because the electrons are involved in bonding. Each atom is left with a full outer shell. An ionic bond forms between a metal ion, which is usually positive, metals are positive, and a non-metal ion, which is negative. All right. So here I'm going to be drawing a lot of different pictures here. If you have different highlighters, different colors, I think it would be a little more useful. So sodium, so Na, the Lewis dot, which we just tested over. Sodium has how many dots? Sodium is in group 1, so it has 1 dot. Chlorine, on the other hand, has group 17, so it has 7 dots. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, the idea is to leave the single dots facing each other. All right. So what's going to happen is sodium is going to give chlorine this electron, and now sodium is empty, it's gone, it's moved over here. So sodium, it lost an electron, so sodium is going to have a +1 charge. Chlorine, on the other hand, so you write it in a bracket like that. Chlorine, on the other hand, now it has a full shell. It gained how many? It gained 1, so it's going to have a negative charge. Put negative sign inside there. And so we have 1 chlorine will bond with 1 sodium, so our formula is NaCl. Okay, that's the formula. Sodium chloride. Okay, not so far, it's pretty basic so far. Then here, magnesium, number 2, example 2, magnesium, Mg. It's in group 2. Remember, group 2 here has 2 valence electrons. 2 valence electrons. All right? So we have 2 dots. 1, 2. Remember, we saw earlier, in order for magnesium to be happy, to be stable, it has to lose both electrons. So we have iodine. Iodine comes in. Iodine has how many? Group 17, so it has 7 valence electrons. So iodine can take this first one, right? So that's gone. It's going to come over here. But magnesium still has 1 more. So what you need to do is you need to bring in another iodine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You need to bring in another iodine to take the second dot. So what we're saying here is that that's gone. Should put X there. Okay. What we're saying here is that now magnesium lost 2, so magnesium lost 2 electrons. It's going to be 2 plus. It lost 2 plus. Each magnesium, well, there's only 1, so iodine, each iodine gain. That one gained 1. This one gained 1. So each of them gained 1. Iodine still has a -1 charge. 2 of them, so you put a 2 outside there to show that there's 2 of those. Or you draw it twice. Draw iodine again if you want. So the formula is 1 magnesium will require 2 iodines to form that compound. So it's MgI2. Okay. And so those are 2 examples. Hopefully it's not too difficult to understand. But let's do one more. I'll do one more with you here. Aluminum and chlorine. Aluminum and chlorine. All right. Aluminum. It's got group 13, so it's got 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. And then chlorine, we did up there earlier, chlorine has 7 dots. So you go chlorine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.